They'll go again to McCoy. And the big boys up front, they're going to stop him right at the line. Back-to-back stops make it 3rd and 10.
And if you're the defense and those D tackles, you like that they're trying to run the football here against your 4-3, don't you?
Yeah, because they tend to eat things up because they are so strong and physical, and especially when they play with leverage where they get lower than the offensive linemen and control them. And what I love about the good defensive tackles, they can play over the guards, they can slide and play over the center. Nobody in the offense likes that day when they have to deal with those guys.
He's going to loft one deep left side here. And that one incomplete. Had some position but couldn't hold on, and it brings up 4th down.
One thing I know from experience is that when the deep ball is thrown and you're the defender, you've got to fight that little bit of panic that emerges. You've got to play the ball really well. It's a 50-50 jump ball play. And guess what? They took a shot. How are you going to win it? And in this case, they managed to get it done.
Here's Colton Schmidt now. On for his second punt. He'd take a repeat of his first. And great special teams work here. This is knock it on the door of the 5. They'll spot it at the 6-yard line. So the Carolina Panthers offense trotting out there, and every time you look at their offense moving onto the field, you can't help but notice those big 6'4" and 6'5" wide receivers in Funchess and Benjamin.
Monster guys, and don't forget they both weigh 230 to 240, so trying to go through them to get the ball, very difficult to do, but their timing in the preseason, their increased play is evident. It's going to make Cam Newton a better quarterback, and when you've got receivers that size, it's not an accident. Their general manager, he told me, I like big players.
They start on the ground. This is Stewart on first. And he's brought down. It'll go as a gain of 10 there. And that leads to a Carolina first down.
Have they come up with a nickname for just Jonathan Stewart? Remember when it was double trouble when he's running with D'Angelo Williams in Carolina? But boy, what a year he had in 2015.
Yeah, it was just 11 yards shy of 1,000, so close, but kind of stepped out of that shadow, didn't he?
Certainly did, and gave the Panthers a real identity running the ball.
They come out here in the eye. They go back to Stewart on first. And that closed up quickly there as he gets it up only to about the 17. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
A 1-yard gain can look like a disaster, but it all depends on how the game is going. Is it a series of 1-yard gains running the ball? If that's the case, you might have to start thinking about throwing it a little bit more. But if it's just the occasional 1-yard run, hey, congratulations to the defense. They won that one. Come back and get them the next time.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And not a whole lot to speak of there as they'll bring him down shy of the 20. 2 yards on the carry there, and it's going to lead him to 3rd down.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense, and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
From the gun on 3rd down, Newton. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
We know it's not an easy job to go out and catch passes when people are trying to tackle you and knock the ball away. But the bottom line is, that's a pass he's got to have and a pass he should have caught.
Here's Mike Cyphers now as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. And it's fielded at the 34. Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And the Bills will take over the football with a 1st and 10. Here's the Buffalo offense now as they get set to take over here. They've got the lead. Last time had to punt it, though. What's the key to this drive?
I think it's leverage.
Leverage.
Big guys up front. You know the motivational speech on the sideline is, guys, give us an opportunity. Protect the passer, create space for our runners, and let's go ahead and get these guys. Low man wins. Let's go do it on this drive.
We'll watch that leverage on this drive. Watkins alone on the left side. They'll throw on first down with Taylor. Finding time. To the sideline, and a nice catch there. Made sure the feet were inbounds, and they were.
Can you do any more work or make it more dramatic for not much gain than what we just saw there? Did you see how his toes got down? Tip, tap, got him down. But what did he get out of it?
He sold the sizzle. He just had no steak.
I mean, was it 1 yard?
Yeah, plays like that, you at least expect a first down. They're just 1 yard.
Let's go.
Now Taylor going to hand this one off to McCoy. And this one's going to go the wrong way. Losing yardage back at the 42. And the offense there, the O-line, everybody really on offense, they were just manhandled at the point of attack.
Yeah, you could pretty much call them all out, couldn't you? Almost by name, right? That was a very tough sequence for the offensive line. But how about that defensive front creating a new line of scrimmage and creating a lost yardage possibility? And the Panthers bring in their nickel set as they try to defend here on third down.
5 defensive backs. Out of the gun, it's Taylor. And this is going to be incomplete.
It's a tried and true formula, and I don't think it'll change for as long as we play football. If someone's trying to throw the ball and you can put pressure on them and make it tough, that's only going to help your defense.
Yeah, he's since being hurried. He got rid of it before taking the hit, but incomplete. This is away, but boy, headed straight for the sidelines. And no return possible here as they angle this one out of bounds. Carolina getting set to take the field. And they'll be looking to avoid what happened last time, which is punting the football.
But when you look at how teams play the game, that complementary football comes into play. How do I take care of my defense? How do I take care of my offense? Well, the defense is taking care of them in a lot of ways. Now it's time for the offense to jump things up and help their defense out. Give them a little bit of rest.
Yeah, time for them to give them a rest. You took the words right out of my mouth. They'll start the drive with a run by Stewart. And he's going to lose yards. They take him down at the 26. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down.
The defense won that play so fast that I think if the running back even had time to notice if anyone was there, it was just a blink of an eye, and there was a loss on the play.
This is Stewart again. Fighting through, and he'll go down right at the 30-yard line. 4 yards on the pickup there, and now they're left with a 3rd and 8.
We always like to talk about defense in terms of levels. First level defensive line, second level linebackers, third level defensive backs. On that run, that was what we call a first level run, and it was stopped by a second level player.
And on 3rd and 8, defensively, they're going to beef up the secondary. 6 defensive backs. From the gun, here's Newton. And to the tight end, Olsen, right side. Give him 2 yards on that play, and that's going to bring up a 4th down. Now, Olsen, Charles, battled back spasms, missed the second game for the Panthers in the preseason. They're just hoping when they suit up for real, he'll be good to go.
And Cam Newton has to have him. That was his #1 target last season, and Greg Olsen went to the Pro Bowl. But when he missed the game against the Tennessee Titans, I saw that game. That allowed Cam Newton to find Devin Funchess and welcome back Kelvin Benjamin, 2 big targets out wide.
First kick, 47. This one looks good as well. And this will be taken at the 13. 21 yards. Well done on the return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. We get a look at the Panthers defense now. They forced the punt the last time, got off the field. I'm sure some of your D coordinators through the years, you liked when you heard those words, get off the field.
Oh, there's no doubt.
Or maybe you didn't like it when you heard those words.
It depended on when they were yelling them. But in this situation, absolutely perfect. Get off the field, force a punt, let the offense take over and do their thing, and it resulted in a field goal.
Now we'll see if they can do that again. Again, we'll see the pistol here. They'll start the drive with a carry by McCoy. And he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down.
They tried to run the counter, just that the defense wasn't fooled.
And when they're not fooled, you see the end result. Because what you're doing there, you mentioned the counter. You're using your offensive linemen sometimes to pull or move to influence the defensive front to go in that direction and create the space back in the other side and block it appropriately. But you're exactly right. Didn't move him, sat there waiting for him and made the play.
They go play action with Taylor. Airing it out deep for Woods. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete. Robert Woods, the intended receiver that time. And they'll be facing a 3rd and 12.
On every offensive coordinator, every play caller sheet, they have about 5 or 6 plays per game that they call shot plays or big plays, and you don't get many opportunities to dial them up, and they just did, and they drop it with a great chance to make a big play. That's going to hurt.
Play action, now Taylor. And that is incomplete. Robert Woods, former USC man, the intended target. And that's going to make it 4th down.
Well, no second guessing the call here. It was 3rd and long, so throwing the football was probably the smart play to try and pick it up. But they don't get it, and now the defense goes off the field feeling pretty good about themselves, gaining some momentum as they force them into a likely punting situation.